Let me make sure I'm muted. Am I muted? No, I'm not muted.
Here we are.
Hi, everybody. All right. Welcome to a special edition of Tracy TV and her amazing friends. It is
prime time.
Stop whatever you are doing and listen up, my friends. So I'm here with four of my favorite people, five of us total, fabulous five. Women who I admire greatly and who are serious business owners in the field of social retail. And for those of you who don't know what social retail is, we like to call it network marketing 2.0. And so what we wanted to do is dig into this industry that we love so much that needs some pivots in some significant ways. Mm-hmm. And we talk about this a lot. It's why we love what we do. We love this model of putting products into the hands of people who love them and rewarding them. And we want the whole industry to really improve. And we're super passionate about this stuff. So the topic of tonight is 5 truths of network marketing that no one's talking about, but we are. And so we're going to dig into it. And so I'm going to start and then I'm just going to hand it over to my amazing friends. So you guys may know, these are women I admire greatly. We started a business. We call ourselves the OGs. We started a business all around the same time last summer in the middle of the pandemic. Yep. For a number of reasons. And we have grown together personally and professionally over that time. And we have deep, honest conversations about ourselves, what we want, this business, what we want for other women and men. And so we're going to dig into 5 truths of network marketing that no one's talking about. I am going to dig into number 1. And I feel super passionate about this one. And number 1 is that there are very valid reasons to pivot. Okay, I'll take my glasses off because I'm reflecting. So for some background about me, I started my career in public relations and brand marketing. And I worked for some PR firms, and I changed PR firms several times. The first couple times it was for money because I was dirt broke and I needed to make more money. And the next couple of times was change of location, change of opportunity. And there are valid reasons to pivot and change what you're doing. And in network marketing, it's a weird cultural thing where leaving one company to go to another company is seen as being disloyal, when really it can have a number of reasons. Number 1, you could have just have a life circumstance change where something makes more sense for you. You could decide to just leave the industry altogether. You could decide to leave for something else. And you can decide that you've personally outgrown an opportunity. And for me, that was where I was last summer. Is I realized that I had hit a point in my own personal growth where I needed something different. And it was a real wake-up call for me to say, like, this company, there was something, wrong with what they were doing. I was looking for something else. And that's okay. And it's actually super appropriate in everyone's course of life. It's very rare that someone does the same thing their entire life. I mean, I just said I used to work in marketing and public relations in firms, and then I had kids, and then I stopped, and then I became a personal trainer and a wellness coach, and then I did this. I mean, like, my life is like a woo of different things. And so to think that someone would just stay with one thing is really one of these truths of network marketing that is just not true. So I'm going to head it over to Lisa, because I think my truth is going to head right into her truth.
Yeah, and this is so good, Trace, and you guys know how much I love you. We've been through a lot together, and we all want the same things for people, and to make an impact, and to help women, and to help families, and to give people opportunities, which is why we did such a hard thing together last summer. And really building, Tracy, on what you talked about, is really building on that, is how so many of these companies really drive a culture of loyalty that is, I'm going to use the word inappropriate, because it isn't an appropriate culture when you are being asked to put the business and the people that are your work colleagues above your family. And, it can be some really blurred lines, because so many people in this industry fall in love with the products, fall in love with the community, which is a great thing. I mean, we are all passionate about a lot of things. But when the lines start to get a little blurry and there's messages being sent that, you need to stay loyal to a company, it can really be confusing for people. And so my story is that I was with a networking company for 17 years. I mean, a really, really long time. And I had a lot of great years and a lot of success. And I'm grateful for all of that. And yet when I did choose to leave, it was very, very hard, because people really assumed that I would be loyal to that company for the rest of my life. And that is just not a good assumption for anyone to make, because, we all know life changes, seasons change. We all make decisions based on what is best for us and our families. And I really love to give women permission to put themselves at the forefront of the decisions around where they choose to spend their time and how they choose to invest in their careers and how they wish to serve communities. And, I think that we've got some work to do as an industry around this. And I'm so grateful that we're having this conversation, and that we are women that care about this, and that we really want this industry to evolve in this way, because, we all love each other. We love what we're doing right now, but we're loyal to our families and to ourselves, like first and foremost, because we all have bills to pay. We all have dreams of our own. And if something isn't aligned, then it should be okay that we take another direction. So I really appreciate this conversation. And, one of the biggest reasons, and then I'm going to turn it over to Jenny, that I did choose to make this change is because I so much want to help women have the kind of success that they deserve. And it was frankly, it was hard to do that. And Jenny, you're such a beautiful example of someone who deserves abundant success, who was playing way below like her potential, because you just weren't in the right opportunity for you. So I'm going to turn it over to you, beautiful one, to talk more about this whole concept of team.
Oh, I love you girls so much. Thank you so much, Lisa. And it's been so amazing to watch. I mean, you were with a different company for a long, long time. And to see you come over here and just realize that it was okay to make that change for you has given me so much inspiration. But, something that I think a lot of people struggle with traditional network marketing is the fact that with the majority of compensation or marketing plans, whatever you call it, in order to make a very compelling income, you have to build a very large team.
Yeah.
And, where I was previously, I had a large team. I made a good income. For me to take that next level, I would have had to double or triple the size of an already very large team. Yeah. Okay, that's really hard work. It takes time. It takes hustle. And here's the deal. Most people get involved with network marketing. They have no desire to build a team. They don't want to recruit their family and friends. They don't have the skills to do so. They like Tracy said, they back it in and they find products they love. They want to share them with their friends. And then they're like, wait up, hold up, what? Now I have to ask people to come do this with me when I don't even know what I'm doing yet. So that's, in my opinion, a huge struggle for that very reason. Most people don't want to do that. Secondly, if your income as a leader is dependent upon the success or the activities or the work ethic of your team, you guys, that's a super slippery slope in terms of team culture, in teams of relationships, because it can become a commissionship, not a friendship. If your income, if your bonus, if your benefits are dependent upon the work of other people, you guys, that's not a good place to be. And that's one of the things that brought me here to social retail, because I saw an opportunity for people to get to the top commission level of the company with 0 team members. And that gives people so many options. Of course, we can build a team here and make an even more impactful income for our families and the women that we sponsor. But someone can come here and they can just share products they love online and make a really great income if that's where their heart lies. There's no pressure to do anything different than what they originally agreed to. So that's been huge for me, and it's been huge for my team. And I feel super good about that and about offering this opportunity to women who truly just want to share products that they love, you know? So it's been a game changer. And with that, I'm going to kick it over to Stephanie, who is the one who was brave enough to make the first shift over here. And Steph, I know you love talking about systems, and you know, I can't wait to hear what you have to share with everybody.
Awesome, thanks. So yeah, one of the truths about network marketing too is a lot of what you'll hear talked about is this idea of time freedom. Time freedom, you're gonna have so much more time, and then people get into it and they end up spending way more time than they thought. And that is because oftentimes, most of the time in network marketing, their businesses are leader dependent rather than systems dependent. So when the model is all incumbent on you as the leader to make things happen, to do the trainings, to do this, to do that, then you end up losing all of that time freedom that you thought you were signing up for. So what is so great about having a model that has incredible systems is that it should be plug and play. So what that allows for is that allows you to scale faster, and it allows you to duplicate more because it is reliant upon simple systems that are actually just plug and play. So what if you are in a model, which we have all found in social retail, and that has good systems, what that does is it compresses your time. So what used to take me hours upon hours, oftentimes just to make a sale, much less maybe have someone decide to partner with me, which, as Jenny mentioned, isn't necessarily incumbent upon to build a good income here. But I look at what I used to have to do and how many hours I used to have to put in to make a little bit of movement in my income. All of that, because of the systems that we have, it's been compressed into a fraction of time. So you can move the needle further, faster, because it is simply plug and play, truly, which is amazing. So that's what the social retail has gifted us. And it's funny, is what I was trying to figure out in my old business, and I realized, oh my God, there's no way to do it here. It's not happening. So I was forced into the decision, as we all were, to go, okay, do I stay here and keep beating my head against the wall, or do I go to where the systems are already done and I just plug in and go? And so that's what we all decided to do. And with that, I'm going to kick it off to Kim, where she's going to talk about how it's changed the game.
Thank you, Steph. I love that so much. I say that all the time. Like, so many of us started in network marketing because we wanted freedom, right? And then once you were successful, when it turns into the job you never wanted to have, that's when you know it's leader dependent and not system dependent. So I love that one. That was a huge one for me. All right, you guys, network marketing truth number 5 that people aren't talking about. This one sounds overly simplified, but I think it's a big one. The game has changed. Not a lot of people are talking about. Not a lot of people are talking about that. And it's changed so significantly, in my opinion, over even just the last few years, that I almost think we're at the point, you know how you're like, am I with the right company? Am I wearing, am I on the right team? I've gotten to the point where I started asking myself, like, I don't need to be asking myself if I'm wearing the right jersey. I need to be asking myself if I'm even on the right field. Like, am I even on the right playing field? And I don't know how many people are watching live, or replay is fine. Comment below, because I'm so curious about this, you guys. So curious. Comment below if you have ever heard of the sport pelota. Pelota. Yay or nay? Or roke. the sport rope, which is basically croquet on concrete, okay? Or korfball. This one cracks me up. Korfball. Let me know, drop in the comments if you played any korfball this past weekend. Probably not, right? And you guys, these are not back alley, small town, made up games. These are all Olympic sports. They were part of the Olympic Games. And then guess what? The game changed, right? The games change. And you could, of course, you could still perfect your korfball game, obviously, until you were the best in the world at it. But what happens if you turn around one day and realize, like, maybe I should have been playing soccer, right? Because I believe that the biggest network marketing truth that really a lot of us haven't been talking about for many years in this decade is that the game has changed. The first company that started with the network marketing model was actually in 1932. It's a long time ago. It's during the Great Depression. And it has had an unbelievably, incredibly awesome 90-year history. And I've really loved, being a part of that industry the last 10 or 11 years, but a lot has changed in that 90 years, right? Think about in the last handful of years, what the internet, what e-commerce and social media alone have done to change the world. Okay, and also this industry. So what social retail is, the reason all of us pivoted, like Tracy opened with a year ago, was because social retail is something new. It's different. It's the convergence of retail, like traditional retail, like we're used to, e-commerce, affiliate marketing, traditional direct selling or network marketing, and what I like to call recommendation marketing, like refer a friend type programs. And one of my friends actually a couple of weeks ago, she said, it's like Amazon, Uber, and Instagram had a baby. And I was like, that's a pretty good way to put it. But here's the thing, it's totally disrupted the network marketing industry. And there's a big difference, y'all. And I'm gonna wrap up with this. There's a big difference between innovation and disruption. Okay, one of my favorite quotes ever is by Henry Ford. Again, comment below or nod your head if you're one of my friends on here, if you know that quote. Okay, he always says, if I would have asked the people what they wanted, Henry Ford, if I would have asked the people what they wanted, they would have said what? Faster horses. Okay, it's safe to say that Henry Ford and the Model T disrupted the transportation industry, right? And when you've disrupted an industry, all that means is that you can't go back. That's what disruptive means. You literally can't go back to doing it the old way, like Blockbuster. Redbox innovated that industry. That means they moved it forward on the same continuum. And then Netflix disrupted it with streaming, which means we can't go back. Like we can't go back to doing it the old way because we're on an entirely different playing field. Right? So that's what we mean by disruptive. Amazon was disruptive. They started as an online bookstore, an online news bookstore, actually. And pretty quickly, they changed the way that people spend money, right? We can't even remember what it was like to not online shop. Social retail is incredibly disruptive because where Amazon changed the way that people spend money, social retail actually changes the way people make money. And here's the golden nugget, right? The truth that the big thing none of us had talked about for so long. The customer needs to win, right? The customer needs to win. All consumer sales should be focused on the customer winning. So social retail has created the most rewarding consumer experience in the world, which should be standard, but it's not. It's groundbreaking. It's disruptive. Social retail has created the most rewarding consumer experience in the world, which in turn, right, makes it an incredible business opportunity for people like me and those of us on the phone that are entrepreneurs. So it's just wild, like how many things we've seen shift and change, the 5 of us on the phone here together in the last couple of years in network marketing. So the 5 truths you know, that we really felt like when we started talking about this. We were kind of on a mastermind trip in Utah last week, and we just started talking about the things that have changed. And we were like, let's go live and talk about this. But the 5 truths that have changed that people just aren't talking about are, number one, there are valid reasons to pivot. There are so many valid reasons to pivot, leading us to number 2, that we just have to get better as an industry about not creating cultures that drive misplaced loyalty. You know, that is, you know, atypical. Also, number 3 that Jenny talked about, most people don't want to grow a team. It's awesome if they get to, but they shouldn't have to. No one should have to grow a team in order to earn compelling income in this industry. And then, like, I love what Steph said, organizations must become more systems dependent and less leader dependent to really create the lifestyle that people are looking for when they choose this kind of work to begin with. And then last, but certainly not least, just that the game has officially changed. The game has changed, okay? And if this stirred up anything in you like it has for all of us obviously are always happy to share more about what that looks like on the other side. But just recognizing that the game has changed is so exciting. I think it's so exciting because the consumer experience industry has a long and bright future. And we're super pumped that y'all jumped on tonight.
Oh, you're the best. I love you, ladies.
Love you guys.
Hey, girls.
So
I need
good.
to get
Have a
I'm
good
gonna buy a
night.
I'm going to buy a microphone on Amazon so I can drop it at the end of
Yes.
this. All right. Love you guys. Thank you guys for listening. We love you all so much. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.